at the end of any rate-changing ideas that PG&E may have, and that go through the Public Utilities Commission, that it has to come back to the legislature for approval, either a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
So more oversight is what you're talking about.
We want to make sure, because in the bankruptcy of PG&E in 2004, the ratepayers really were the victims of that bankruptcy. We paid $6 to $8 billion, and where in the creditors and the shareholders were made whole and stayed whole. So that's a problem. We want to make sure we have something to say at the end of the day, and this will allow us to do that.
Yeah, but of course, in the long run, we're all going to have to pay for this, for the bad decisions made by PG&E, the neglectful decisions made by PG&E, the irresponsible decisions made by PG&E. Isn't that the case? That was California State Senator Jerry Hill talking about this bankruptcy. And now to join us to talk about it even further, Brian Kabateck. He is president of the Los Angeles County Bar Association, a frequent guest here on the Larry O'Connor Show. Thanks for joining us, Counselor.
My pleasure, Larry. Good to hear your voice.
What is the thank you, sir. What is the exposure here on for the taxpayers? Because a lot of all they're doing is restructuring the debt here, but ultimately, either through a rate increase or through other sort of payments from Sacramento, we're going to be the ones helping PG&E out of this hole, right?
Right. They're looking for a full sort of complete blanket bailout. And I think if you look at this from three angles, the bankruptcy, they want to get out from their obligations to pay people at least in whole, if not in part. They want to then they want the ratepayers to pay more money, and they're going to look to the ratepayers to pay more money for the cost of this. And then finally, they're going to see how much they can get out of the taxpayers, and the taxpayers will pay to contribute to their own, negligence and conduct over the years.
And of course, they haven't done anything to earn that kind of bailout. Can we put some kind of strings attached to whatever assistance that they get from taxpayers that actually force them to change their business practices and not incur the level of debt that they incurred to put them in this tenuous position in the first place?
Well, one would think, obviously, I heard your last guess, and it's in the hands of the legislature to some extent here what can happen, and the Public Utilities Commission and others. And I want to go back to what you said just a minute ago. It isn't just a question of what they're looking for in the way of a handout or something like that. It's that they've been making, billions of dollars over the years off of the ratepayers and the people of the state of California. And now not only do they want to keep making that money, but they want the bailout.
That's right.
Right.
And by the way, by declaring bankruptcy the way that they did, they're also screwing the homeowners who, for all intents and purposes, they destroyed their homes through their negligence and through the disrepair of their facilities that caused the Paradise Fire in the first place. So everybody's getting screwed except PG&E.
They destroyed their community. It's not just their home, their community.
Yeah,
they killed
the whole city. They literally destroyed Paradise.
They did. That's absolutely right. They destroyed Paradise. And if you look at that and consider what happened and consider that what they've done has been not just negligent but grossly negligent over the years, and that if what they were actually doing was ignoring technology, which we believe exists, that could have given them early warnings of problems, not just high winds, but old equipment. They weren't pouring the money back into the infrastructure. It wasn't the first time for them. And they were just continuing to take more money. And finally, consider that they have a monopoly. So there's no one else to buy your power.
Exactly. There's no competition. We can't choose to say, we're going to take power from these people. So the last question here, and I think this will be very illuminating, they've got lobbyists, don't they? They make contributions. They actually help contribute to the political action committees and third-party organizations and directly to the campaigns of many of these legislators and state senators who will be voting on this.
Of course. I mean, that's the name of the game in Sacramento. I've spent plenty of time there myself, and I know what happens when you get a large industry that's well-funded and well-heeled. And despite the fact that you have some very well-intentioned legislatures, money talks. Money knows no ideology.
Yeah. And all we can do is sit back and watch it happen. And sadly, so many of these things happen in committee, and things are decided behind closed doors, and then it's just pushed through. And they've got one-party rule up there. So there really isn't any kind of real opposition that the people feel are speaking for them. Well, I don't think we've solved anything here, Adam, or Brian. I wish we could have solved something by the end of this.
Well, we can solve it. It's just nobody listens to us.
Right, exactly. All right, we'll leave it there. But at least we have the facts, and we can keep our eyes open as this thing progresses through the bankruptcy courts and through Sacramento. Thank you, Brian. Brian Kabateck, president of the Los Angeles County Bar Association. Someone's looking out for us. Larry O'Connor Show, AM 790 KBC.